fancy intro music. Yeah! Woohoo!
Good morning, Star Trek Fleet Command fans. We've got patch 82 here, Villains Part 1. Not to be confused with DS9, but doesn't mean we're not going to see some DS9 stuff this time around. So let's talk about villains. What does that mean? What all is included here in the month? Hopefully by the end of the video, you've got a good idea. All right, let's start with the very beginning. The discovery of Transigen plunges the quadrant into chaos. Yep, Transigen is not gone. For all those curious, it's not left you. So we're going to skip through that and start talking about what is actually in this arc. Some things maybe you're looking forward to, some you're not. One thing that you might take as a positive is Arenas is finally getting an adjusted schedule. We will have it for the next 2 weeks here on Friday night instead of Monday night. Now, I've asked many of you to be doing Arenas with me so we can test stability of the game in terms of Unity 6 and the update to see if it helped. If you've already done that with Mondays, feel free to chime in here. Did you see an improvement with the actual performance of the game? If you did not notice anything improved, feel free to say that as well. But make sure you comment so that we can see what your experience was. But you're going to see that move, which has been a major point of feedback. Now, what is that going to look like long term? We'll have to wait and see, but that is something that a lot of you have been asking for. Friday night is a little bit more, well, probably available for many of you. We'll see. Time should be exactly the same. So with this new update, we'll have new missions with Ops 35 and above for the core missions and Ops 45 and above for the building specific missions. We also have been talking about a refocus set for G3 and G4. Well, update 82, you're going to start seeing new core progression focused on ship specific stuff. So 20 through 25 about the USS Franklin, which again, I've said I think that is a little bit odd. Franklin is kind of dead content, but afterwards you have the USS Reliant at 26 plus, which is technically where the Reliant opens up, and free to play have been getting to the point where they're unlocking it. So if you are out there, this is your time to shine. You got the Reliant 26 and above. We'll see. Again, is this going to be something consistently that you were able to rely on and use? Again, it is the Reliant. So let's keep it moving and see if we can find more stuff that are available to you as players that you're going to be able to enjoy, use, and take advantage of. The aggregation hostiles and the hypothermic decay. We talked about this in short when it came to the video yesterday where we talked about the new prototype tech. But for this right here, here is the basics of the loop. We did look at this chart and how it works. It's pretty similar to most of the loops that you've used to when it comes to new loops in the game. This run, no different than what you've kind of experienced here in the past. So you have new hostile, kill the hostile to then upgrade, materials that you need to do the refinery. The refinery is going to help you get more stuff for the building as well as the new prototype tech. And then with that, you're going to go into the research and simply do it again. I mean, that's the kind of name of the game. If you've done this before, this is the name of the game. Do it again and then go do it again. Yep. Look, is that good? Well, I'm not here to tell you that you're getting all this taken away, right? You're going to have more loops come in this game, but let's see if some of the other stuff is more appealing. Here's the new building. Let's see if you like the building in terms of what's available in that. The Recon Locust. So being vigilant, building vigilantly monitors the novel intel, clandestine technologies, and secret projects to keep the station up to the highest standards. So as a centerpiece, it'll be a new aggregation research. We've talked about that a little bit, but you're going to see what those are here in a second. Level 51 will grant access to that prototype tech, the Orion Syndicate. If you get it to 51, that is going to be a freebie that you get with the new prototype tech. So PT is available at 51. And then is sourcing the hypothermic stabilizer, which counters the hypothermic decay of the new hostile. So to counter it, good news, we've got the research. The building will need to get tiered up to have better resistance versus that. So you're going to have that buff that we just said, as well as a base speed for upgrading buildings, research, and then finally the construction of ships, all getting a boosting with that. Progression milestones, here is level 1, which requires Ops 45 to unlock. You get forbidden tech materials, existing rare forbidden tech unlocks, so pre-existing stuff already. The C12 stasis globe is now available in that. The aggregation smuggled studies gift, which would be upgrading for the research. Then we have unlock combat bonuses, improved transition mining speed, and the aggregation research tree, and improve ISO damage against augment exile hostiles. That one a little bit better than the previous, but maybe neither of these super exciting for some of you. Keep it moving. Now we get to level 51. We're talking about a big jump here. Went from level 1 to 51. Then we're going to get the uncommon / rare prototype tech upgrade and tier up materials. It does take all the way up there before you start getting that. The new Orion Syndicate, what you just talked about, the bomb, and then last but not least, the epic forbidden tech unlocks for the choice. So another one there. Then we get to 61. We get additional existing forbidden tech getting opportunities to be sourced. So that is good to see sourcing to some of the older content tied into this. This is kind of like the forbidden tech 2.0 loop. So similar to how we've seen older things rolled in to new stuff before, same idea with this month with patch 82. And we got the 3 PvP prototype tech unlocks, those mines, the counter surgery device, the self-replicating mines. But again, you gotta get all the way to building 61 to do that. So if you're wondering that in month 1, that will be something available to your spending crowd, not your free-to-play crowd. Then you get 67, where the epic prototype tier-up catalyst can be unlocked. So levels of the building kind of being that pathway, which will take time for free-to-play or spending if you want to have it now. All right, your research tree's got a lot of stuff in it. There's some things I think are good. I'm going to cover those. Other things that are just kind of like, I'm going to start with the things that I think are good. Apex barrier versus aggregation hostiles, I think will be good. ISO damage and ISO defense for boost augment exiles and aggregation, I do really like. The forbidden tech upgrade is, I think, good if you have not done a lot of forbidden tech and you don't have a lot of the new materials, so I can save you some. Then you look over at the PvPs. Obviously, that's only going to matter if you're in PvP. Now, for me, that's going to be very valuable. For you, this can be a whole set of research that you put to the side so that you can focus on the PvE side of things, where you get more of that hostile critical chance reduction research. And for you level 70s, USS Vengeance optimization, making it cheaper to upgrade that special ship that has been a bit of a disappointment to many of you, but the average player not going to have to worry about it too much, which I'm sure y'all will be happy about. And then the increased crit damage versus waves can be quite nice, but biggest thing when it comes to waves is just getting your GS31 updated. Probably will look at the ISO defense and the Apex barriers, the most valuable in that research tree. Your aggregation refinery, again, kind of going to work just as how I said. You're going to kill hostile. Different levels of the new aggregation hostile opens up different materials for you to refine. So you have the schematics for the building and then the smuggled studies, which is the research. So that's what those are going to directly upgrade. And again, the various hostiles that you're fighting are going to change what you're able to get after that. Prototype tech we covered in another video. So if you haven't seen these, check out yesterday's video. I don't want to bore y'all with too much of this slop content, but 3 PvP items, 2 utility items, and the rare one is a free-to-play one from day 1. All right. Win Adami is the officer this month, so you're going to have an officer ability ignoring shields for the first 3 rounds when attacking a player's station. And then finally, below deck reduces enemy player crit damage by X%. A PvP-based officer with really, to me, specifically being a below decker for PvP, though I guess you can still use for base rating. Not sure how many people are using base rating at this point in the game, but available there. Then you have in the Battle Pass, the paid track, the base damage against players by 200%, projectile refit, ISO kinetic cannon. I will double check when the Battle Pass launches. I do believe that is in the paid track, but if it's in the free, that'd be a great thumbs up from Scopely. And then we've got some shards for the new officer, aggregation research, officer depot tokens, and more. We have a few different bugs fixes, mainly dedicated to lower levels and just making the UI better and easier to navigate. A couple things like the Kashar artifact getting a little bit of a boost. Hopefully that helps the queuing system make it more valuable, and a few things there as well. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you feel like this is going to be a quality month based on what you're reading here? I'm always curious on your thoughts and your opinions. Do appreciate everybody watching. Live long and plunder. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuce, that's me. Catch you in the next Star Trek Fleet Men video. Don't forget, if you watch this in the morning, it comes out over on Twitch. We're having our Battle Cash giveaway. See you there.